Peace fam, Queen here. Alright, so in this video I'm going to give you some free game strategy to get you passively anywhere 5K to 10K monthly. Alright, so first things first, what you're going to do is you're going to secure some capital. So you can secure 100,000 of capital guaranteed with one of my companies. So we can get you capital regardless of your personal credit, bankruptcies, none of that stuff matters. So we can get you $100,000 worth of capital. The process takes about 4 to 6 weeks. The first part of this is to create the entity and get the entity fundable and get it looking really good on paper. Okay, so that takes 4 weeks, and then the next 2 weeks then you can go to funding and we'll secure a guaranteed of 100,000. Now 100,000 is not the maximum, but that's the amount that we can legally guarantee. All right, so now you've got $100,000 worth of capital. So the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to take 10,000 of that 100,000 that you have in capital, and you're going to compound that for 3 months in our SEC crypto strategy. All right, the company that we're using for that. So when you take the 10 grand, let me go over here and let's go here. So we're going to take 10 grand, we're going to compound it for 3 months. All right, let's take a look and see what that looks like. So with this strategy, you're getting 36% monthly, and you're compounding daily, and you're doing that for 3 months. Okay, so let's calculate that. All right, so now you're pretty much tripling. You're doing a 3x on the capital. So you're at 29,260. We can just call that 30 grand. All right, so what you're going to do now is you would take the 10,000 initially, right, that you used from your funding capital, and you're going to pay that back. And now you're going to be left with 20,000 at the end of this 3 months. Okay, so this is just a process that's going. But at the same time that you initiate number 2, all right, you're also going to initiate number 3 at the same time. Okay, so you're going to be taking 20,000 initially from your funded capital. Right, so you're going to take another 10,000. You're going to compound that daily, and you're going to withdraw those earnings monthly to cover the capital cost. Okay, so let's go back here. All right, and let's take a look at this. So we're going to do 30. We already got the 10,000 in there, 36% daily, and you're just going to put a 1 and calculate. All right, so now once you've done your daily compounding every day with this particular part of this whole strategy, you'll see at the end you'll have 14,303. So then this is the amount that you would withdraw, right, on a monthly basis to cover your capital costs. Okay, all right, so that's number 2, and then we're going to go back here. Now let's dig into this here just a little bit. All right, so let me do this. All right, so the total that you've taken from the funded capital is 20 grand. Right, when you're dealing with lines of credit, you don't actually start paying back lines of credit until you actually draw down on those lines of credits. Right, so you can have, $1 million worth of funding. If you don't use it, you don't owe the bank anything. You only owe the bank when you actually use it. So we've taken 20 grand from the 100,000. All right. Now I'm going to give you a real overly conservative rough estimate of what the payment would look like, but you can go on any credit card website and figure out what the more actual cost would be. But I'm going to be way over conservative and show you. This is how you get wealthy, by leverage. So 20,000, right? Now typically the lines of credit that we're going to get you, possibly with your funding, will possibly have 0% interest for 12 months, 18 months. So you may not have any interest, but let's just say your monthly interest for the 20 grand that you drew down, you withdrew from your funding. Let's just say the 20,000 is 5%. We know it's not 5%, but let's just pretend. So 20 grand times 5% monthly. All right, that's $1,000 a month. Okay. That's $1,000 a month. And this number, this payment, is way, way over what it would be in the real world. But I just want to show you how the math would work for you, or could work for you. All right, so that's a grand. And what did I say we're earning from the 10,000 that we're compounding every day and we're drawing out monthly? All right, so this is going to be like your monthly stipend, if you will, to pay all of your capital costs. Okay, so now you've taken the 10,000, right? Excuse me. Excuse me, and compound it every day. It's 4,300, 4,303. So let's go back to the calculator. So let's take 4,303, and you see where I'm getting that number from, right? Right here, right here. Okay, because that's the earnings on the 10 grand. So 4,303 minus the 1,000 equals 3,303. That's your leftover with that, you know, put it in your pocket, pay other bills, take a vacation, whatever you choose to do. Now, one other thing that I need to mention in this strategy is with the capital that we raise or help you to raise, right? So with anytime you're seeking capital, there's typically an upfront cost, there's typically a back-end cost, okay? We can talk about the upfront cost because there's some different things that we can do with that. If you're flat out broke and you don't have even a decent credit score and can show proof of income, this is not going to work for you. Okay, so this will work for the person that has, you know, maybe a couple thousand to get this strategy started, or you have like a 700 credit score and you can prove that you have income. Then we can get you some capital, like on the personal side. But this 100,000 of capital is coming from business funding. Okay, so long to the short, there is a back end fee that you pay, right? So it's points or percentages, however you want to look at it. So let's say here it's going to be 10 points on that 100K, so that's $10,000, right? Let me show you where I got that from. So 100,000 times 10 points, which is 10%. That's 10 grand, all right? So 10 grand for the capital that you secured, 10 grand for this step in the strategy to compound for 3 months, and then another 10 grand to compound and withdraw out monthly. So that's $10,000. So that's going to be 30 grand. Okay. So now if we look at the complete amount that you would owe back, okay, and multiply this by, say, 5%. We'll do that again because we know that's over, way over, you know, what your interest rate would be. But let's just say 5%. That's $1,500, and that's everything. That's all the capital in this strategy. Now going back here, if we look at the amount again, the 4,303 minus the 15, that's going to give you 2,803 that you have left over. Okay, that's 2,803. Now, if you remember from the first strategy, or the first, you know, step in this strategy was to take the 10K and compound it for 3 months. So let me show you what that's going to look like. I did it, but I want to expand on it here. All right, so remember we did that and we compounded for 3 months. Calculate that. Okay, remember, so that's real close. We'll call that 30 grand. Okay, call that 30 grand. So now you take the 10K, you pay back that portion of the amount that you owe. So now you're left with 20K. So now this is house money right here. Okay, so now you got 20K, and you're going to continue to compound it. So this would be your fourth month now, right? So if we calculate, okay, so now you got the 20K that's earning you $8,600 a month. Where's my pen? There it is. Okay, so now you got 86. $28.06 a month, right? So now if you take the $28.03 that you have left from that other bucket of money plus the $86.06 in the next 4 months, you could be pocketing in a very passive way, paying back all of the capital that you're borrowing, paying it back out of profits. Your net would be about $11,000 per month in the next 4 months with this strategy that I'm sharing with you absolutely free. So if this is something that you want to do, look at the resources down here and in the description of the video as well. Look at those resources. You would want to start with scheduling some time with me so we can talk about this individually for you and your goals. So you'll schedule some time with me by going to the link there that says 100K funding guaranteed. Go to that link to schedule some time. And then the other pieces of this strategy, the links are down there in the description as well. All right. Hope that this helps you, and I look forward to possibly helping you. All right. Take care.